Yeah, this is Simba here with another video. The folks on the outside. Freedom cannot be granted, it must be taken. So said a writer, Ragnar Redbeard, I believe was his name. Um, he said, freedom cannot be granted, it must be taken. And to a large extent, I agree with him. In relation to the African race or the African social group, however you want to term it, um, they have waited hundreds of years for this freedom, right? And the freedom was granted, the quote unquote freedom was granted to them. They never really took it, except for a few instances like Haiti, right? Rare instances, but it to the large degree, African people never retook their freedom. And therein lies the problem. You see, slavery, one can argue, still exists today, right? The institutions that was part of the machinery of that whole slave empire is still existing today, whether it be religious institutions like Christianity, make no apologies for saying so, the economic institutions, capitalism, right? What else, right? Even the work situation is still, there's still large scale exploitation and stuff like that. Even though one may be earning a wage and quote unquote pay, right, for the services, there's still one could argue exploitation in that whole arena, right? So we need to be honest and face it. We need to understand what freedom really is, man, and know that Britain cannot grant you freedom. You must take it, right? And the difference is when you take it, right, you wouldn't, your parliament system wouldn't be a replica of Britain, right? Your yardstick for success wouldn't be a replica of their standards, right? Your language might be different and all. Your religion wouldn't be the same religion that Britain uphold, right? You wouldn't be praying to the same God as Britain. When you take it, right, you would restore your stolen or lost identity. You would get restitution in that respect. You restore your original name as best as you could. You restore your original religion or God as best as you could, because some of it has been totally destroyed. I'm speaking about the African demographic, right? You will restore your language, you will restore your culture, you will restore the lands that were stolen and demarcated and colonized, right? You're fully restored, because let me put it this way, right? The colonization of the quote unquote New World or the Americas and the African continent, right? It had an impact, right? A cultural impact. And with the granting of independence, right? This didn't really do anything to reverse the impact, right? it didn't do anything to restore African people, right? Hence the reason we're still in a state of destitution, a deplorable state. Now, yeah, you would find the ones who would be getting the windfall of material or financial success or what have you. But the masses, right? The how I should put the majority, the group, right, is still a damaged one. All because we never took back our freedom. We never reconquered our conquerors. Therefore, we are still a conquered people. That is the fact of the matter. That is the fact of the matter. Right? Now, some people may live in denial and say, no, I free slavery is back then or what have you. But that is not the case. We still impacted by the ripple effects of that atrocity, slavery, and the transatlantic trade, colonialism. We still impacted, alright, by it. Because we never stood against our conquerors. We submitted, we bowed, we cowered, we never rose to the challenge. Now it's not an easy one, right? To face your conquerors, but it could be done. Right? And I think it needs to be done because the world has ignored to a large degree the atrocity of slavery and it's as if they say, let us move on, right? And justice was never really delivered or handed over to the African people. Millions of people were slaughtered in the Americas, in the African continent. Not even an apology. It's only recently they some of them rendered an apology, right? A half-witted apology, in my opinion. But not even an apology, no reparations, right? And yet still, these African people, these African descendants, brag that there's a member of the quote-unquote Commonwealth, right? They're proud to be a member of the British Commonwealth. If they go to Britain, they're coming back with an accent. No, I went to Britain. You know, African people, Caribbean, African descendants, praying to the same God that these Englishmen forced upon their foreparents. A white man God. Make no apologies for saying so. Right? So we need to be honest. We need to understand what freedom truly is. Right? We need to know that we have a long way to go. The war is still upon us. Right? That's all I have to say for now. This is Simba signing out.